Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, AC/DC's 1976 album, which you've probably heard of. It's pretty good overall. This is the track listing of the original Australian release, and these are the tracks I added to my playlist. 6 out of 9, so 2/3 here. Something to really note is that the album has a few tracks different on the sort of American international release, and a track arrangement which kind of sucks on that one, especially when compared to this original release order. Side 1 is really great. The American release moves Ain't No Fun, and there's going to be some rockin' to side 2, and replaces them with 2 tracks from previous Australian releases, which hadn't gotten international releases yet on some of their older albums. This really ruins the flow of the album, as in the original, side 1 flows great from the opening title track and then ends pretty well with Ride On and Jailbreak. The international release cuts Jailbreak entirely, but still includes Ride On towards the end, so it's not too bad. In the international release, both sides feel incomplete, while on the original, side 1 is great and side 2 is a little bit more meh, but eventually finishes the album quite well. Overall, I mean, there's a couple of great songs here, so the album is still decent in either form, but the Australian release is so much better that it really is so surprising that they screwed it up so bad. The only single released before the album in Australia was Jailbreak, which is an interesting choice, but understandable as that song is pretty good as a single. The only radio song here, though, is the title track, which is quite well known. It's also definitely my favorite and probably easily the best track on the album. Jailbreak's also good, but all these songs are just kind of slightly different versions of the same song, which is the same song that they've been playing for the last 2 albums. So, yeah, I mean, it's okay. The only sort of standout interesting song here is Big Balls, which is really funny, but not actually a good song, in my opinion. So, yeah, moving on. I rank this album second out of the 3 AC/DC albums I've heard so far. They've all been essentially the same song, with minor variations on each song and each album. I think Dirty Deeds is better than their original debut, High Voltage, since the overall quality is definitely increased, and side 1 does definitely flow really well. However, TNT is really just better than Dirty Deeds. It has 2 big hits instead of 1. TNT has the title track, TNT, and It's a Long Way to the Top, which is kind of mid-hit. It's also more consistent with its flow across the whole album. Dirty Deeds, even in the original Australian release, still has a bit of a big hole in the middle. And obviously the international release really is not good. But this album also doesn't take my top spot for 1976, as that's pretty well locked down by Billy Joel's Turnstiles, which is really great and definitely a better album than Dirty Deeds, at least in my view, since it has sort of actual stylistic variety. AC/DC has basically created one song 30 times, which is not terrible because it's a pretty decent song, but it's not as good as something like Billy Joel. So thank you for watching. Next up will be AC/DC's 1977 album, Let There Be Rock. I'm going to try to release this review a little sooner than this one took to come out. So hopefully y'all won't have to wait a whole month for that. Hopefully only a week or so. So stay tuned for that. And as always, stay minty.